And we are back here on Ray County for season 2 of the herd. What we're going to be doing now is got to feed these cows because they're super duper hungry. But we have some pretty cool stuff going on today because we got ourselves something a little bit new. New to us, so to speak of. Basically what we're going to be doing is we need to start harvest. It is October 1st. Our soybeans are ready to rock and roll. We do have the field, if you guys are remembering, from the last season when we were doing this. We had basically planted a field a couple days earlier than the other field, and that thing is ready to get basically picked. So we are going to be getting the combine out, getting that stuff rolling, but we do need the soybeans to be harvested as well. So let's just drop this thing because I don't need that on the forks right now, because we need to slide inside of the cow barn because they have zero food, so they need to be fed. So we're gonna get that fed. We're gonna get the combine out, up and running. Like I said, we do have some pretty cool stuff coming up. We did get ourselves a few different things on the farm, and we'll talk about those when we get to there. So kind of excited to get back into this a little bit. So let's get that thing unloaded. I do think that there should be plenty enough for them for the time being. So looks like that's empty already. Holy cows. All right, let's get on out of here. No point intended for the holy cows. All right, we're gonna have to unhook this baby and get ourselves, let's see, let's just set it just like so. And we gotta grab ourselves the bale. Sorry about the camera there. Kind of trying to get back in the groove of things a little bit. Now, I have been talking a little bit. If you guys have not been seeing the live streams of the Out of Ore, you guys are missing out some fun stuff over there as well. So I'm gonna be get that thing finished off come on, get on in there. There we go. Got that. All right, let's get this thing flipped back around, hooked up. Got to get some more silage in there. Boy, cameras a little bit quicker than in the Out of Ore settings, but we'll get it figured out. All right, sneak under that. Get some silage in there. Also, if you guys do remember as well, we do have the row crop ready on this map. So I do believe Ray County, Missouri, the new update that you get from the itch page through No Creek Farm has the option to actually utilize both non-row crop ready and row crop ready. Row crop ready doesn't take anything special. You just need the row crop ready systems from Thundar. So we're going to give them about half of this, and then we're going to go... That goes really, really quick. Then we gotta go put this into the other cow pen, or the calf pen as well. Sneak back around this direction. The pigs should be fine. We are running realistic livestock mod as well. There is something pretty cool that I still need to test, and some of you guys might be familiar with this, but a guy by Dr. Drula, he streams on Twitch still, I believe, and maybe does some YouTube stuff. But he has created, supposedly, some sort of mod that is like a butcher mod for the realistic livestock mod. So that would be very interesting to see if I can get that to work in here, because then that will give me the ability for the cattle and the pigs to have somewhere to go rather than just selling them. If you guys haven't noticed, yeah, we got ourselves a semi and a trailer. We got rid of the 2 Parker wagons. The tractor and 2 wagons were great, but it was kind of slow. It'd be kind of nice to be able to get something that's a little bit quicker. Also, we picked up this John Deere, what is this, like a 580 or something? 500, John Deere 500 auger wagon on the 4440. Dad's 4440, heck yeah. We do still have some soybeans in the bin and some dry corn. Yeah, we probably should have sold the majority of that earlier than anticipated. I do think we'll have to take a look at the crop calendar and see when the best time is. I still think it's maybe January for selling the soybeans, and maybe July for selling the corn, the dry corn. So yeah, all right, well, we don't need this anywhere. Let's just back this baby up. We can just actually let this thing be parked right there. We should probably shut it off though, because we don't want to be running it out of fuel. Let's go into the shed. We'll grab the 2366, 2388, sorry. No, 23, grabbing the 2366. We need to go grab the bean head and get that thing hooked up. We got to go look over the sickle bars, the cutting bars. There we go. Get that thing moving. And I think we should be able to sneak around where the corn was chopped earlier, so that will be good. I do not think that we're going to be needing the grain cart a whole lot for the soybeans, but we will see. There we go. We'll have to get this thing kind of tuned up. Let's just fire this baby up. Just check the cutter bars. Everything looks good. It looks good from when I looked through it earlier, but everything looks like it's running as optimal as we possibly can get it. So let's head on over to the soybeans area and we'll start picking some beans. We're gonna have to get the headlands taken off, so there is still that possibility. Maybe we'll need to grab the 500, the 4440 and the 500 to get our soybeans moved from point A to point B. All right, drop the header down. And away we should be able to go. Oh yeah. Now we're getting into this. We're not going to drop any soybean straw to be able to bale anything up. We're just gonna do this and let her go. Now I was thinking, I know a couple episodes back, or at least in season 1, I was kind of thinking about possibly doing like some no-till stuff, but I think we're just going to work everything up. As well do that. Gives us something else to do in the meantime, because otherwise then we're just like jumping through things. But although it would be pretty cool to get some no-till stuff in here, but I just haven't got the whole thing set up properly to get things to work like they're supposed to. So needless to say, we got this field to open up and get the soybeans hauled into our bins. We have to get the auger and all that kind of stuff set up. So there's going to be some work left here on the farm to be doing this early August 2nd day. Currently it's 46 degrees out. It's probably a little early, probably a little early to be actually picking some beans. You might still have some moisture on there, and they don't like to feed through the combine as well. Definitely soybeans on this map do go for quite a bit. We're kind of missing some here and there, but that's okay. So with that being said, if we're going to be doing some tillage work, we're going to have to try to figure out what we want to do for tillage. What kind of do we want to use a ripper to rip the corn and just a cultivator or a speed disc type thing on the soybeans? Or do we just plant directly into the soybeans and we only rip the corn? So every year we'd be ripping the corn, we'd leave the soybeans. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think, because either way, it'd be kind of cool. Well, we're about halfway around the field. We should have gone the other way. That way I could have kept my auger to the outside of the field. But I think once we get to 50%, we'll maybe spin back around and we'll head back the other direction and try to get ourselves to a spot where we can unload. And maybe we want to do that now. So maybe let's just turn around. I think we just turn around and get ourselves to the point where we're not struggling with the situations of trying to get our auger down here and be able to pick ourselves up. So with the one-man wrecking crew, we're going to be definitely sitting in a position where we're going to be doing a lot of running back and forth. Looks like there's a little deer in here freshly eating up some of that soybean stalks, and probably, hopefully, maybe not some soybeans that we've been shooting out the back, but I do enjoy this map. If you guys don't know either, No Creek is currently working on a new map. I believe it's a 4X map, so I'm kind of excited for that. I'm excited for that No Creek. No Creek makes some very, very good maps that I think that there could be a possibility that we maybe potentially do some sort of, I don't know, live series on it or something. A 4X map, have a little bit more ability for more people to join in on it. I'm still kind of doing some thinking on that, but definitely something to kind of keep our eye out on. I don't know when that thing is going to be fully finished. I'm pretty sure it'll probably take a little bit because he puts a lot of detail into his maps. And it should be row crop system ready. Very similar, I do believe, to what he has done with this one, where you have the option to do either or. So that's going to be really good. It's going to be awesome. So we're not sitting too bad here. I do think we'll probably get up here far enough. We'll have to make our little trek up towards the tractor, the 4440, grab that and dump this and get the semi kind of situated so we can do that type of stuff. But possibly this field should maybe take half the day or so, and we might be able to switch on over to corn and maybe go try and knock out some of that field across down on the lane. So it should be good to go, I hope. All right, so I'm thinking we'll get up into the cut corn field that we used for silage earlier, and we might be able to kind of swing around and head down towards that direction, be able to unload, and then we should have a spot here for the semi to kind of park. We'll lift the head up, get ourselves spun around, get the auger out. Drop that down and back up. And then we'll let everything kind of run out of this, and then we will go grab the 4440. So if you do remember last episode, episode 1, when we did some silage cutting, we didn't completely cut everything because we have a lot of silage in the bunker. There's quite a bit in there that I feel at this point in time there is going to be no need to have more than what we have in there. We also have a bunch of alfalfa bales that we got in the barn that we can kind of sell at a later date. Yeah, we definitely need to get the auger set up. All right, let's get in the first person cab view. I do love the look of this tractor on the inside. It is, like I said, it just brings back so much memories. So much memories. All right, let's get underneath the auger, get ourselves unloaded. If I could drive, this would be awesome. If I could get this thing to sneak right underneath there. There we be. Now, while that's unloading, I'm hoping that doesn't fill it completely full. 500 bushels. I'm not quite sure. Obviously, the combine does not hold 500 bushels, but so yeah, we got rid of the 2 Parker wagons. We got ourselves the Dakota. I believe this is like a 30-footer. It is used. It is used along with this cab over in Transtar, Case IH International. Get on the inside. Look at that, baby. Oh, got the big old radio up top. Got the CD player. Heck yeah. Listen to that baby just purr. All right, let's get the tarp opened up. We can go this way. This truck should have no problem handling. I think we could probably park this as the looking of heading out. Something like this. There we go. Kind of jack that just a tad. All right. Probably should shut it off. I keep forgetting to shut the stuff off. And we could probably shut the 4440 off. Yeah, we didn't. 52%. So that's actually good. So that should get roughly, I'm not going to say, probably a hopper and a half is what that will eventually be able to get. Drop that down. There we go, and away we go. Oh, yeah. All right, so this 2366 is, I think, already in setup because we do have for the combine. The only thing we did change last season was we got the Kenzie 16 row, because that's going to work a lot better with our head, our combine corn head, and the planter is going to work a lot better because the rows are going to line up better than what we had here, because we did plant everything with a 12 row, which unfortunately is going to really screw some stuff up, especially when we get into the corn picking stuff, because if you guys can do your quick math, 8 row plus a 12 row planter does not jive very well. But we'll just have to deal with it. It's going to be something that we'll just struggle through. We don't have a whole lot of corn to have to pick, but it possibly could be a little annoying. Like I said, the bean head's not going to be a big issue because you can cut at an angle, which we probably could be doing, but we're not. We're not doing it. Not right now. I don't have the GPS set up. We could quickly set that up, but we're just kind of opening this field up, so no big deal. Kind of work at this little section off to our left, get this thing kind of opened up. I wouldn't mind eventually doing some more expansion with some fields, get maybe a couple more fields. There is the possibility, and I could be looking at some sort of mod to kind of help with like some harvest stuff, be able to run the combine a little bit more, get the combine to run, and then we go catch cart type thing. But as you can see, we only got 36,000 in the account. We did have to take out a couple loans, a little bit bigger loan to be able to purchase some of those upgraded equipments, even after we sold the Parker wagons. And yeah, so definitely we got a couple loans out that we got to keep cautious of as well. But I think we'll be just fine after we kind of start selling some stuff. But hey, that's kind of like real farming, right? Definitely not quite sure what we're gonna do. I think there could be a possibility that we plant all corn on this one, and the cornfield currently that we're going to be picking is going to be soybeans, and I wouldn't mind picking up something else, hopefully to be able to get us another soybean field, or see if there's another soybean field around that we could possibly lease or something like that, because we do have the lease mod on this map, or on this play series, so that would be kind of something that we could mess around with as well. All right, well, we're like 55% full. I think we can make it down. I don't know. I'm not thinking we're going to be able to get all this in the combine, but I might be just deceived a little bit. Might be that possibility that we can. Well, let's try getting this ends basically finished off here. Once we get this little, I don't know what to call this, little dog leg maybe or something like that. Once we get this out of the way, the rest of the field shouldn't be too terribly bad. It's just kind of a little bit longer rows and up and down, so it's not going to be too terribly hard. But this is just going to take a little bit of time because you are dealing with a little bit of turning around more so than the ups and downs. So I do like the way that the rows look with the row crop system from Thundar. I do know some of that haven't been following it a whole lot, so there might be some changes. I just have not looked much into it and done some updating to anything, but all right, 80% full, so I think we will get to the end and we might be able to just drive up and dump it right on the wagon, and then dump the rest of it into the front of the semi. Let's see if we can get in here without hitting anything. Famous last words. Try not to hit the tires. We don't want to pop them. There we go. Shouldn't have. That won't take everything. Be dang close. All right, so we still got about 19% left in this. We'll just drop this in the front hopper. There we be. All right, should be able to back ourselves hopefully out of this and start make another pass down to the other end. Perfect. on our way down to the other end of the field, and we'll kind of pick up and finish the little straggler pieces that are on that little dog leg there. I think now might be a perfect time to do a quick time lapse, and we'll see what time it is. We'll get some stuff loaded up. I think we should be able to fit this whole field on that semi. At least I'm hoping. If not, we should be able to get the semi full and then some on the grain cart. But we do need to get this all set up, the bin set up, so we can put this stuff into the bin to get it sold in January. I do believe is when the best time to actually sell that is. So, all right, we're gonna jump into a quick time lapse. Turn the radio up. Let's sit back, enjoy the view. Well, we got a full combine. We need to go dump this off. We need to go dump this off into the 500 gravity wagon. And I think the trailer is probably going to be full. So with that being said, we're going to have to go grab the auger and get that hooked up, or set up, excuse me, to the bin. We might be able to do a little bit more work, but I think that this is going to have, this will probably fill up that trailer. So let's hop out and get ourselves in the 4440. That way we can get the trailer full, and then we'll have to grab the 1486, I believe, and we will yeah, the 1486. We'll grab that, and we'll grab the auger. We'll get all that set up because the rest of that is not going to fit into everything, but that's fine. I do have to see if we need to get the no, I don't think we will. We'll have to use the swing hopper, and we'll have to swing it up underneath the unloads on the trailer. So I do believe that this is definitely going to fill this up. So let's go 1486. Let's go grab that. Grab the auger, which is behind the shed, or behind the bins, excuse me. Okay, this auger has been working fairly good for this setup. We do need to, let's see, we should be able to drive around in front and then back up and kind of do what we've been doing, I think. Yeah, so we should be able to, hopefully, let's get that back in. We don't need that up sitting like that. We should be able to utilize maybe the swing hopper and use the dirt path that we have in our way to get the semi into where it needs to go. Okay, I think that's going to be close enough. Whoop. Yeah, that should work just right there. So let's, yeah, that will work perfect. All right, that thing is set up. Let's go grab the semi and let's get this all tested and hopefully get this stuff unloaded. So we should be able to pull around and then make our loop. So we'll have to go around in between the two cattle pens and then unload going upwards and facing this general direction. We got 38,750 liters of soybeans on the semi. Try not to take anything out. Farm is starting to get a couple upgraded equipment pieces to make everything a little bit more efficient as far as soybeans and corn to the elevator. All right, so we should be able to kind of swing just like we have been. Get that underneath just far enough. Now this is going to be a test thing. We'll have to figure out what is going to work. So let's zoom underneath this like so. And we might need to pull forward on the semi. Maybe. Let's take a look. Maybe. We might be able to get this to unload. Not sure where the unload is. Is it back here? There we go. There we go. All right, first load of soybeans going in the bin from the season 2. And I'm hoping we should be able to just kind of drive forward. We could have done the back first. That would have gave us some more pressure on those tires. I think it'll work just fine. Maybe we don't have a tip side. What's going? Okay, so we're gonna have to. That's just a keybind thing for this specifically for this trailer. There we go. All right, we should be able to shut the truck off. Everything's good on that. That should be able to finish unloading. All right, well, that's going to have to do it for this episode, guys. If you did enjoy the content, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one.